main square, the fountain going on. Not too many people here yet. I think there may be a concert later. There's the Freedom Center with the Emancipation Proclamation. A lot of construction. Sections of the Berlin Wall, which stood from 1969 to 1961, when they built it to separate. When it came down due to popular demand in 1989. It's a textile by Amanda Brenda Lynn Robinson. It's called Journeys I 1 and 2. It's pretty amazing. It is amazing. They have all sorts of stuff. Large painting by Tom Feelings, who died, in Tyrone Getter. Shows someone in a slave pen, laboring in the fields. Extensive routes for moving slaves across the USA. When the railroads came in, they were moving them out west. Largest slave transporter from Africa to the New World. And slaves represented $500 million in property. Importation of slaves was outlawed by Congress in 1808. It became big business to move slaves from place to place in the U.S., especially from the upper South or the mid-Atlantic to the deep South where cotton was grown. Over 1 million people were moved up until the time of the Civil War. Down in, near Maysville. It was inside a tobacco barn. And it's really horrible circumstances. They kept like 40 men up there chained. And children and women down here. It's a dirt floor. And then they marched them to Natchez for 750 miles on foot. Traveled 750 miles, and that would take up to 40 days. Many were barefoot, all kinds of weather. Line of slavery in America, which started in 1619, continued to the end of the Civil War. Slavery legalized in 1641 in Massachusetts, 1887 to be banned in the Northwest Territory, including 1794 when the cotton gin was invented. 1830, cotton exceeds the value of any other product in the U.S. 1832, the first founding of Liberia. The Henry Clay Connection, 1850, compromise, California is free. Abraham Lincoln was elected. Civil War ended in 1864. Pretty good movie about crossing the Ohio from Kentucky. And this is the beginnings of the slave trade in the Caribbean. The tools of the slave trade here. We have a flame out here, and it's a balcony on the 4th floor. An exhibit against modern slavery. President Garfield statue in our Garfield Suites. Outside here on Vine Street. Living room, real spacious, and a dining room. Current Cincinnati says they had the first beginnings of a public library here in 1853. This is a book fountain. The Cincinnati Public Library downtown has a huge open area. This was built in 1979, and it's interactive, so you can pick out what you wanted. 1848, what was here, and they'll tell you more about it with a little thing at the touch screen. Stained glass from the original library built in 1874. It stood till 1955 apparently. How people, this was a Google of its day. This is how people used to look up where you find things in a library. So look from the 3rd floor. The opposite way on Vine Street, it's a mural. It's not sure where we're at. We're Vine and Central Parkway. Restaurant I read about on TripAdvisor, Taste of Belgium. Thick waffles, big lines. Buildings here and over the Rhine, especially their top decorations. That one has a line, a lot of elaborate work. This is a kind of a rejuvenated area called Over the Rhine. This place smells like sugar, and they're making donuts in the window, which you can't see because of the light. There's actually a waiting line. This is Over the Rhine because it was the Ohio River end of the Miami and Erie Canal. And when Dutch and German and French immigrants came, they started calling it. There's another Cincinnati institution. This is Washington Square. The Sympathy in the opera. Next door to Music Hall is this Memorial Hall dedicated to soldiers and sailors. Looks like they have events. Yeah, this is the entrance to Washington Park, and looks like they're setting up for some local concerts this weekend here, Luminosity. And here's some nice fountains here in Washington Park. Yeah, this is the Rookwood Pottery Shop, which was quite expensive, and Art Academy. And this lovely mural here. A building near the AAA building here. It's a mural of Cynthianus. Along Garfield Place here, which is a big park, and this is a statue of William Henry Harrison, one of many Ohio presidents, as well as Garfield. And there's Izzy's Deli, and down there is St. Peter and Paul's and Chain. My sandwich at Izzy's, which apparently took the food challenge from the food. Is the historic City Hall, where I'm Plum and 8th. And that's Roman. This is a historic synagogue. Commemorates Isaac Meyer Wise. We think this may be St. Peter and Chains here. Historic. It was originally built in 1845. And here we have their artwork, the security pig. Art Deco Cincinnati Bell building built in 1930s, and amazing detail here. Looking at this work here, this is all along the building. This is now lost for Shiloh, so people can live where they used to buy retail. There's a Hustler shop. We're wondering if it's the Larry Flint one. Area with the Aronoff Center, 7th Street East there, and the big venue for plays and all sorts of stuff. In the 21C, and it's like moving, making its own little complete rug. How is that done? Oh my. Mike's being slimed. He says it's called healing towels. So they're healing them. They're self-healing. Yeah, it's a Carew Tower, the lobby. Again. This is the Ohio River from the Carew Tower, which I guess is the 50th floor. And there's the museum center over there, which we can actually see out our window at the hotel. And a ballpark over there too, looks like. And that city hall that we were in is down there. Huh, cool. It's a ball stadium, field beside it. Oh, that Spaghetti Junction was the river again, on the opposite side over there. look at Kentucky way off there, all that greenery, that's Kentucky. It's 8451. This is view of the stadium, pedestrian bridge. That
neighborhood over there, right?
little park
Yeah.
under the pedestrian bridge.
That's going to be
And then the baseball stadium there. It's where the Reds play.
the school out of water is so different.
And there's a riverboat today. That would be fun. Water is licking, flowing into the Ohio, which is greener.
Paddle ship sometime.
Yeah, that must be that B&B. Boats. There, traffic walking. And that's Newport on the river on the other side. Newport on the river there. Really great view from here. And that we're thinking maybe that's the Eden Park area over there. Most likely. Looks like Eden Park.
It's definitely Eden Park. It seems like it's too big for the art museum, but it looks like it, really.
Yeah. Well, there's several buildings there, so.
There should be an observatory that.
Right under that yellow bridge is Sawyer Park, where the Blues Festival is.
So the stage is from there.
Yeah. Yes. So this is Cincinnati, built on 7 hills. And there is Fountain Square down there. It's possible to see it, but that black spot is the fountain. Otherwise, we have the rooftops of Cincinnati. Big Macy's store. All the smaller buildings on up the street. Another hillside over there. Is that Clifton, you think? That hill's over there, maybe Clifton?
If you keep going straight back on Vine, you get to the zoo.
And again, the old railroad yards. Where the museum center is now. Used to be the train station. It still has trains come there. They just don't come at the right time to take them. She like middle of the night trains. The old section, the over the Rhine section here. This again is the Carew Tower, and it's really a lot of elaborate buildings here. All these structures with marble, and this commemorates the first high-rise concrete frame building in the U.S. from 1903. Civic engineer and landmark, the Ingalls Building. Street going to our hotel has flying pigs and fish, sheep and a rabbit. Building across the street, it's flying birds or doves. He has a flying pig for his French restaurant. Okay.